And as we continue our look at the impact of drought conditions, we turn to Manchester, where some farmers in Warwick have been able to produce good yields despite prolonged dry period. But they say they are spending too much on water and urgently need help with drums and irrigation. Krista Campbell has their story.
In the farming zone of southern Manchester, crops struggle to yield in the face of a prolonged dry period. This is Warwick, and here farmers have found ways of dealing with the drought, like planting certain crops that are not so dependent on water.
True, at the mint number we plant here, mint not really take no water more and stuff, and the plant, it can bear it dry. Mint a good crop for plant, but the thing it does hard to catch at the first, but when it catch, you know, dead. Mint can live up to 100 years.
For other catch crops like Irish potato, sweet peppers and tomatoes, farmers like Clive Porter save up water for times of drought.
We buy the water, store it, then we just use the drum them and transport it in the garden. You know, because we can't get no drip, we can't use no drip now, we have to just water it by the root and try to catch it like that.
While he's proud of his yield so far this year, he argues the primary input, water, is very costly.
The full 4 drum of water, $6,000, and I use roughly 12 drum of water per day. So it take a lot of money. Plus you have to get man to help you.
Sometimes I have to pay the van man so much money for carry water. One chip of water, just as you wet it sucker them, it dry out again.
The farmers say they need help to repair a cracked tank that would greatly ease the water issues.
We have the water like New Forest. We are good, but to me, we're not going to get the immigration water up here because we don't have that spring ground system for we get the water like that. It's just like the pipeline water, and them now pumping up water for we get to use it. 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, and water gone again.
Recently, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green noted that the distribution of drip irrigation kits and water drums is being done in areas that are traditionally worst affected by dry conditions. However, he said there are other areas of focus.
We're going to be doing some more work on catchment areas. We're going to be doing some more work in relation to inland ponds, and we're going to be using those smaller measures to ensure that our farmers get water.
He says it's an additional responsibility of the National Irrigation Commission. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Now over in Stewartsfield, St. Thomas, there are also water issues, but it's not because of a drought. Sandy Williams explains.
Water is a source of surviving, one of the main sources, and we don't have it. We are not privileged to have it, and we have so many rivers in St. Thomas. Why we can't get water through our tap?
The question all the residents in Stewartsfield, St. Thomas are seeking an answer to. They say for more than a decade, there has been no water in their pipes.
We have not gotten any water since 2008. And I remember that vividly because that is the time I was sick. I was diagnosed with breast cancer and I had to use the river water, which was not appropriate for somebody who was doing chemo. And we have been promised water for so many years. You turn the pipe on and not even air come out of it. I am now having 3 ill patients. My mother, my father, and my stage 2 sister with Down syndrome.
The residents admit sometimes water is trucked to the area, but even that comes with challenges.
When it comes, some we get, some no we get. When it will come back again, I wanted a problem.
I have 2 tanks and it's $8,000, $800 to fill them. We can't afford it. $8,000 to fill the drums. We can't afford it. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drums. And we have to fill up everything. See, even the very wash pan.
And the river is not always the best alternative.
And when we go to the river is dirty because them are mine up the river.
Having 3 sick patients, it's very hard to go to the river to get water. We are tired of promises. We don't want no more promises. All we want is water through the pipe.
So why have plans to address the water woes not been implemented? Andrew Cannon is the Corporate Public Relations Manager at the National Water Commission.
The Springfield source, it supplies water to the Seaforth community. Located on the outskirts of Seaforth is the Stewartsfield area, and they should also get water from the same Springfield source. However, the Springfield source is inadequate to supply Stewartsfield. We are now upgrading the Whitehall plant. When that plant is upgraded, there should be reliable and consistent supply to serve the people of Stewartsfield. And we expect that this upgrading should be completed within a year or so.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
And we now head to a quick break. When we come back, Renardo Brown will have your midday sports.
Welcome back. It's now time for your midday sports. Manchester City have officially announced the signing of reggae girl striker Khadija Bunny Shaw on a 3-year deal. This move ends a 24-year-old's 2-year spell with Bordeaux in France, where she scored 32 goals in 35 appearances in all competitions. Shaw, who is the first Jamaican international footballer since Fitzroy Simpson to sign for Manchester City, already has plans of making a mark at her new club.
I chose Man City because I wanted to be a part of the environment. I wanted to be a part of the culture. I want to, play for this team. So, I want to get tested. So, and I've seen a lot of experience in the group. So I think, I could definitely learn from everyone around me because everyone is different and unique in their own way. So it definitely feels amazing.
Manchester City finished second in the Super League last season and will now play Champions League football. Denmark's Christian Eriksen will be fitted with a heart starting device following his collapse on the pitch during Euro 2020. The 29-year-old midfielder suffered cardiac arrest in his side's defeat to Finland in Copenhagen on Saturday. According to Danish team doctor Martin Bossen, implantable cardioverter defibrillator, or ICD, is necessary due to rhythm disturbance. In cricket, the West Indies have made 2 changes to their 13-man squad for the second and final test against South Africa, which bowls off on Friday at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia. The panel recalled fast bowler Shannon Gabriel and left-handed batsman Darren Bravo. The 2 replaced Jamaican Nkrumah Bonner, who is out due to concussion protocols after being hit on the helmet in the first innings of the first test, and Alzari Joseph. Gabriel was not included in the squad for the first test due to injury concerns, but is said to be fully recovered. The full squad reads Craig Brathwaite, Jermaine Blackwood, Darren Bravo, Roston Chase, Raheem Cornwall, Joshua Da Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Holder, Shea Hope, Kyle Mears, Kyron Powell, Kemar Roach, and Jaden Seals. The Windies lost the first test by an innings and 63 runs. The Atlanta Hawks overall a 26-point deficit to beat the Philadelphia 76ers 109-106 and take a 3-2 lead in their Eastern Conference playoff series in the NBA. Trae Young scored 39 points for the Hawks and put them in the lead for the first time when he made 3 free throws late in the fourth quarter. In the Western Conference, the Los Angeles Clippers went 3-2 up after a 119-111 win over the Utah Jazz. The next games in the best-of-7 series will be played on Friday. World number 3 Rafael Nadal has pulled out of this month's Wimbledon and the Tokyo Olympic Games. The 20-time Grand Slam champion, who won the Wimbledon titles in 2008 and 2010, says he needs to recuperate after a long clay court season. Nadal said the short turnaround between the French Open and Wimbledon, which starts at the All England Club on June 28, was a key factor in his decision. And finally, Wimbledon is looking at ways to improve its media operations, according to its chief executive, Sally Bolton. Last month, world number 2 Naomi Osaka withdrew from the French Open after saying that she would not do news conferences at Roland Garros to protect her mental health. Osaka is due to play at Wimbledon, which starts on June 28. Bolton also confirmed that the tournament had been in contact with Osaka's team after the 23-year-old's withdrawal from the second Grand Slam event of the year. On Wednesday, tournament director Jamie Baker said he had told Osaka's entourage that the phone lines were always open to discuss any issues that might arise. And that's it for your midday sports. Giovanni, is back to you.
Thanks so much, Renardo. Well, good news for Khadija Bonishaw.
Fantastic news for Jamaica as well, having someone playing in the Super League in England.
Indeed. And just before we go, it's now time for the Business Minute, and here's Cody and Barrett with that.
In business news, Lasco Manufacturing has announced plans to explore other export opportunities in the Caribbean, Latin America, and the U.S. East Coast. Speaking at the recent Mayberry's Investment Forum, Managing Director James Rawls says export is a fundamental part of the company's growth strategy.
As to how we can deepen the distribution of our products, how we can take it to all levels of the market, and how we can then support it with serious brand building, that we become as iconic in the Caribbean and in diaspora as we are in Jamaica.
Currently, 6% of its sales are from exports. However, in the next 3 to 5 years, they are hoping to increase it by 15%. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, in association with the Climate Change Division, will be launching its first green bond project next Wednesday. The project was undertaken to explore the debt capital market as a source of financing for climate resilience and low-carbon development in Jamaica. The event can be watched live on the Stock Exchange's YouTube channel at Jamaica Stock Exchange TV on June 13 at 10 a.m. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
And just before we go, just wanted to follow up with Renardo and Khadija Bonishaw. I understand that it was a difficult decision between choosing from Manchester City and the Arsenal for Bonishaw. Renardo.
It could never be Arsenal. Had to be between Manchester United and Manchester City. And then she chose Manchester City. Of course, there were several clubs interested in getting her signature after that fantastic season at Bordeaux in France. But new chapter, it's a fantastic feat for her and for Jamaica, and just looking forward to see what will happen.
Well, any club except Manchester United. For the West Indies tomorrow, they've brought in Shannon Gabriel and Darren Bravo.
It's possible that both could go straight into the team. Darren Bravo should replace Nkrumah Bonner, who is on concussion protocol. And somehow I think the selectors will find a way to get Shannon Gabriel into the team, having seen what the South African Pacers did in the first test.
Do you think we'll do better?
Do better but won't win.
Well, that's not good news. Well, that is the Midday News. I'm Giovanni Dennis. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, the sports, and the production teams, have a good afternoon.